G'day friends of Private Universe. Today we have the third and last episode of our tribute to Bill Lennon. I talked to him a few years ago in my studio and we had such a great time. A man of 93 years of age, jumping out of planes and having an incredible life. Incredible character. Anyway, listen and enjoy. That probably did help a lot to stay out of discussions of politics, religion, and in some places even football too. So an opportunity for other people who thought that they can't do it, give them a bit of a chance. Yeah,
that's right. My next, not challenge so much, is I got myself right. I could hardly walk.
Mm.
And my wife's so fit. She does the yoga, Tai Chi, and she's 85.
Mm.
And I watched her one day and I thought, if I don't get myself fit, someone's going to steal her off me. So I thought, I got down to the local Anytime Fitness gym.
Yeah.
I said to them, I want to start get myself fit.
Mm.
And they said, how old are you? I said, about 86. And they said, well, we can't sign you up until you get a doctor's certificate to say if anything happens to me, I can't sue them. Sure. I went out and I got the bus out and seen him, and he said, he said, it's right. And I go, and I started off. They give you a personal trainer for the first week or month or something, and they had run weights and all that. And I'm still strong. I am very strong up top. I said, I don't want to do those weights. I want to get on a treadmill and do it.
Right.
So they used to help me on, and I was doing probably 3 or 4 minutes at a speed of 3. And after about 2 weeks, I used to go regularly down there 3 days a week. After about 2 or 3 weeks, I'd get on myself, set the time, speed myself, get off. But I was still a little bit shaky when you get off.
Mm.
But I was doing 5 minutes at the speed of 5 kilometres an hour. Sort of where we live is very hilly, and that's why I can't walk up hills or slopey ground. But on the treadmill, I was having like a good 5-minute walk, and no, I was doing a quarter of an hour. That's right. At the finish, I was doing a quarter of an hour, and I was getting fit. I thought, now, if anyone tries to steal my wife off me, at least I'll put up a bit of a challenge.
That's right. Yeah.
But I went in there. They had a 24-hour treadmill challenge for Anytime Fitness all over. They've got them all over Australia to sponsor teenage suicide prevention.
Mm.
So I said, they asked me if I'd like to. So I said, yeah, I'll do it. It's 24 hours, the treadmill doesn't stop. They said, oh, that's good. They were 15-minute spots, you know. I said, how many would you like to do? I said, when's it start? I said, 3 o'clock Friday afternoon and finishes at 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. I said, well, I can't sleep at night time. Put me down for about 10 o'clock tonight. I'll come down at 10 o'clock. And 2 tomorrow, 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So I've done 3 for them.
Wow.
I was pretty fit, you know.
Yeah, of course.
So then I thought I'd like to have a go at this World Seniors things they got going, like games, what do they call them?
Right, okay, yeah.
And I rang up, they were up at the Gold Coast. So I rang them up and they said, oh, we'd love to have you. You'd have been in the 88 to 90 or something or other. And I said, I'm not worried about running any medals. They said, there's probably only 2 people in your event, and the 100 and 200 walk. And I said, that's the ones I want to go in. So I started going out to Mingara Athletic Club and going around their running track. And I got my youngest daughter. I said, she had a stopwatch. She said, come out with me and time me and see how I'm going. And she'd walking behind me and she said, Dad, you're flying. But I walked in the outside lane.
Yeah.
I didn't use the inside one. So I walked probably a little bit more.
Of course, yeah.
And I get myself fit. But I was going up to, I couldn't I could afford the airfare, but you were staying for about a month.
Right.
And I couldn't afford the accommodation.
Yes.
So I told them, I rang up and I said, I'm sorry, I won't be there. But they're in Adelaide next year. And I'd love, I think I might be able to get a sponsor this time.
I was about to say, we need a sponsor to get you there.
I would go. I've been in touch with them. I spoke to the same person on the phone, and I said, I'm going to try and get it in October. And I said that I'll try and get there, but that's my next challenge, you know.
Good on you.
If I don't make it, I'll just go back up to my skydive.
Which is, you know, not a bad thing to do, I suppose. And eventually the games will be held in Sydney, I suspect. They take turns, those games.
Yeah, they do. But
you'd eventually be in Sydney and hopefully you might. But I think after your story's already has come out already with regards to your skydiving on the channels and you had so much publicity, I think you'll have no problem getting a sponsor to get you to Adelaide in October.
Well, that's what I thought too. Now I've done the skydives. Before I was going around the hotels and they didn't want to know me, you know, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the chap that Mickey Hill is the owner of the Grange Hotel at Wyoming. He gave me $1,000. I gave him the little memory stick that I got. I said, "There, Mick, have a look at that." He said, "Oh, my God." I said, "Will you sponsor me for the Cancer Council?" He said, "Of course I will." He said, "How much do you want?" I thought, "I'll go a bit heavy." I said, $1,000. And wrote a check straight away. Oh. So I guarantee if I went to Mickey and said, "I'm going to Adelaide and I want someone to sponsor me towards my accommodation," he'll say yes.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's other people too that will want to see you compete and set another bar up high.
That's right.
Because being able to do that 100 and 200 metre walk, which is half jogging, I suspect, that you'll be going, and it's at the age of 90 and close to 91, it would be so inspiring to see for everyone.
Yeah.
So I suspect, we're going to have a lot of luck with that, and you never know, I might even go myself. Not to compete, but I might do the commentary. So I'd love to go to Adelaide, which is a beaubeautiful city.
I've never been there.
I went when I was 18, so I'd love to go again. It's been a long time. And I remember my experience in Adelaide. We stayed overnight. We're on our way to Darwin. We stopped there. I was only 18. We were a bunch of young guys, and the police were kind enough to allow us to sleep in the car in a park, but they were also keen to make sure we left very early.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember they woke us up. They pulled behind us at the park, and with their little speaker from the car, they said, "Wakey, wakey, time to go to Broome." So we had a good time. It was only one night, but I want to go back, So maybe October. I think it's on the cards.
Well, Queensland's the only state I've actually been and lived in. I've been to Melbourne when our son lived in Melbourne, and I was absolutely. My wife and I was gobsmacked, as the saying goes, about the coffee shops.
And Sydney, you have to find those things because it's so large that it's so much it's like finding a needle and in hay, I suppose. And with places like Adelaide and Melbourne, they're smaller, more compact, and you've got these lovely cafes. I'm glad you like that. You're quite bohemian. You love the nightlife and the cafes and
But we don't go out. My wife goes to practice. She's in a group called the Minstrels. There's about 8 or 10 elderly people.
Yep.
And they go around the nursing homes once or twice, 3 times a month.
Right.
And they perform for the oldies. And the oldies love it. And she loves doing it for them. She's in another group called Sing Australia.
Right.
And they're all over the world. They're just a Sing Australia, they call themselves. And she goes and sings the tonsils out every Monday night.
Good on her, yeah.
And loves it.
Well, you two are inspiring, both of you, the couple.
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes to show that, keep your mind and body busy and you'll be happy in life at any age.
Well, that's when I looked at when she was so fit. And here I am, sitting in a chair.
Yes.
Doing nothing.
Yeah.
So that's when I said, I've got to make up my mind to do something.
Yeah.
Because when I met her, it was a very strange. It's probably another story, but I could tell you quickly.
Yeah, of course.
When I come back from Queensland, I was 23-year-old, and my sister. I come and stayed with my sister, and she said, it was a Saturday night. She said, I want you to come up to the dance tonight and meet my girlfriend. I said, I told you, I'm not interested in getting married. I don't want to get married. Anyway, I had a couple of schooners and 6 o'clock closing, so I'm sitting there. It was about 8:30. I thought, I should go up. It's rude not to go up, Sure. So I went in, and there was a dance. It was a dance in progress. And this woman went past, and I thought, now that's the type of girl I'd like to marry. So I went over to where my sister was, and I said, where's your girlfriend? She said, she's dancing. She'll be back. Here she comes. It was the same girl that I said to myself, I'd love to marry. And I don't know what it was.
You had no chance then. No chance of not marrying her.
No, but I said to her, can I have a dance? So we had a dance, and she's a beautiful ballroom dancer. She was a teacher ballroom dancing. And I'm felt like I was dancing in gumboots. I'm all over her foot. In those days, the last dance, they used to play Goodnight Sweetheart, the old one. And if you had the last dance, you accompanied that girl home.
Oh.
So during our dance, I said, can I have the last dance with you? And she said, you're having it. So I'm pretty hard bloke to get over the top of. So I said, who are you going home with? Who's taking you home? She said, that bloke over there. I asked him. Well, I said, okay. So I waited in the shadows, like a thief in the night. Yeah. And I waited till the last dance was over, and she went back, and I saw him heading across. So I cut him off, and I said, where are you going? He said, I'm taking a Faye home. I said, well, I'm a brother. Our father said to bring her home. No one else. So I went home and stood beside her, and I said, where's this bloke taking you home? She said, I don't know. I said, well, I may as well take you home. She said, oh, all right, very reluctantly. And from that day on, we're married.
You convinced her. Yeah.
66 years since.
Fantastic. Ooh, meant to happen, wasn't it?
Had to happen.
Wow, you just intervened. You you got in the way of this guy. That's like something out of a movie, something out of Back to the Future, something. If you hadn't like crossed him, then who knows where your life would have headed, his and hers.
If I hadn't gone up there, if I'd have said no, I don't want to go up.
Fantastic. See,
Something
again,
told me to go up.
the decision.
Yeah.
You made a decision that you wanted to get to know this woman more, and you locked it in, and nothing was going to stop you.
Yeah.
A bit like when you decided to jump. You obviously know what you want, and you're pretty hard headed about it.
Well, I had to come up with a devious idea to get the last. I had to tell this fella I was a brother.
I love the fact that she said, when you asked her, can I have the last day, you're having it. That's great comeback. I love that. This is it, mate.
I didn't. I thought to myself, gee, that's a bit savage, you know.
Yeah.
But I didn't give up easy.
It was probably a test, you know. She goes, if you can handle this, and then later on she saw you still hanging around. She goes, oh well. Obviously, he's thick-skinned.
But I think another thing that helped me, like grow really attached to her, was when we were going out, she told me she was an orphan. Her mother died in childbirth, and her father got killed when she was 12 by lightning.
Wow.
And I sort of. And we'd only been going about 6 months. And she said, I've got a auntie and uncle of her guardian. They had a hotel down near Redfern Way, and they either lost their job in the hotel or they had to go back to Tamworth, where they originally came from. And she said, I've got to go back to Tamworth. And I said, that's too far for me to come and see you. Let's get married. So we got engaged and married on the same day.
Wow.
And, you know, things that just happen.
Good on you, Bill.
Now,
you're very committed and decisive. I like that.
Yeah, we did. We got paid for our own wedding. Had a cheapy wedding as well. Cheap as you can get nowadays, you know.
Of course.
But those days we didn't have to give the minister $200 or $300, you know.
Yep.
I said to him, I'd like to give you an envelope. I said, we've got no money. He said, that's all right, son. That's all right, son.
Different times.
Yeah.
Wow, what a life. I mean, this is only obviously, we only talked a little bit about it, and let's continue with this on a different show, because there's so much for you to offer. All these examples of what you've done in your life show how important it is in life to be able to know what you want. And if you don't know what you want, at least give it a go and things will work out.
I often say to my wife, I still feel like I've got something to offer. And I'd like to, whatever, you know, I thought, these not nursing homes, retirement villages. If I had some means of getting around, I'm not a speaker or anything like that. If I could show people what you can do, rather than sit in the chair and have coffee and cake and biscuits and all that stuff, you get out of your chair. And a lot of people wouldn't be my age in the retirement homes.
Sure.
And their life's not over. It's not over. It's only if you let it get over, there's always something you can do.
Wonderful. That is so good.
Even if you volunteer 1 day or 2 days a week for whatever you like to do.
Yes.
Drive a bus for them or something like that, you know. There's plenty.
Exactly. And it's different when someone like me says it or someone younger says it, but when it comes from someone like you who's 90, and as you said, probably even older than some of these people that are in nursing homes or even in their own homes, but are feeling depressed, are feeling that their life is over, are feeling that they can't offer society or anyone else anything. They hear these words from someone like you, and it must be able to help them, because you are living proof, Bill, that your life only ends when you decide it ends.
That's right. The more I think about it, some of the tasks I've had. I was a volunteer with, I just forget now, but the Hammond homes. I said, I'm starting to get a bit. I wasn't very fit days. I said I can't walk around. I said I could do something from home. So they gave me four phone numbers. If I could ring them a certain time, say a Monday, I didn't want to ring them every day. There's 2 people up this way, and one in Newcastle and one in Wollongong. There was three women and 2 men. So I rang up, and this first one I got was this lady. I rang her up on the time. They know what time I'm going to ring. And I'm talking to her, I thought, if you're lonely. And she said, who are you? I don't want you ringing me up. Don't ring me again. So I said, I know what's wrong. She's got dementia. So I rang another one. She was that happy. I just called to see that you're all right, and these are ones with no relatives, sort of thing,
Sure.
Yeah. And the blokes in two in Wollongong, one bloke, it's quite nice, but I think he still had his marbles all right, But the other bloke, I couldn't get him off the phone. And they said to me, whatever you do, don't give them your phone number. Otherwise, I'll ring you all the time. But that one I rang, the first one that said, don't ring me back, I rang her back the next week and said, oh, thank goodness, I've been looking forward to the call, Bill. She said, I love the conversation with her.
Oh, that's nice.
I knew in my own mind, I rang the week before when she was having a bout of dementia.
Yeah.
She wasn't that sort of person at all.
No,
she was a really nice person.
Oh, that's nice. And good you went with your instinct, Bill, and you rang again.
Yeah. I didn't. I could have easily said, I'm not ringing that old cranky thing again, but I knew in my own mind what was wrong with her.
Yeah, no, that's great. And maybe some people, after listening to this, can think about helping out in one way with people that are elderly, or they might have a relative themselves that might want to visit or ring. And if not, maybe decide to do something for the community, even a one-off, and the satisfaction one gets out of doing that, unconditionally, because we don't get paid for it, when you do something out of charity or out of being a good person, is wonderful. There's not enough money that can pay for that feeling that you get. And that's why you have people, philanthropists, a bit like you mentioned Dick Smith before, but there are many others that have a lot of money, and in the end, the satisfaction, or the greatest satisfaction people get, is giving either their time, giving material goods, of course, that may help people, but just giving a bit of your time is the most precious thing you can give.
Well, where Faye and I live, there's 14 units there, and I say there's at least 8 of them have said to me, Bill, you've inspired us. They're all elderly people, not my age, and they've said, now I can go out shopping and I feel a bit easier to walk and confident walking that,
Fantastic, Bill. When I heard your story, that's why I wanted to talk to you, because you did get a lot of publicity, but through hopefully our chat today, we're going to get more publicity for those people that need it, to hear your story, especially people around your age that will benefit from hearing this and knowing, yep, I want to go for it too.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping.
And I think we will be. And you, and I would love to have Faye as well, because she sounds like an amazing woman. You guys an inspiration as a couple and as individual people. And to tell the truth, it's good to know also that that feeling that one gets when one is young about losing one's wife to someone musclier and fit and more athletic never goes away.
If he runs away, I'll never catch him because I can't run.
Oh, Bill, great to have you today, mate, and thanks for coming.
No, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the reminiscing of my age, my past life with you. My eldest daughter she said to me not many times, Dad, for goodness sake, put down something about your life so we'll have something when you're gone to say, that's what Dad done.
What a great chat. Rest in peace, my friend, and thank you for all your knowledge. Remember, friends, existence is a miracle.